Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're on Beach Road, and if you look at that sign there in front of you, you can see where we are, and there is the street. Now we're not going to walk down the street, because if I do, certain people won't be very happy and will not put advertising on. We're going to have a chat actually about live streaming and a very unusual development which is starting to happen just now about live streaming in Thailand. So I'll tell you about that. First of all, let me just ask you to subscribe and like and share and ring the notification bell. And also, if you like, you can buy me a coffee. The link is down below. So, getting back to the video. What's happening right now is in certain bars, particularly that street in front of you over there, the live streaming has gone totally over the top. I mean, I've just walked down it, and I walked down it earlier on with a friend of mine who is only 30 and he's a good looking lad, and we were ignored, both of us, the entire trip, except for the odd, I think maybe 5 bars in the whole street which were not live streaming, because must have been about at least there's over a dozen bars were live streaming, and they have this big light ring with a phone in the middle, and there's some bars have got 2 of them, one on each side, and there are groups of girls on each side of the bar staring at the camera and talking and dancing and paying all their attention to the camera, to the camera phone, and completely not even looking outside the bar. I mean, we walked past loads of bars where they didn't even look. Every single girl in the bar, I said there were a dozen girls, there were 6 on each phone, and they didn't even look. And if they did glance, they glanced for 1 second and glanced straight back and started waving and saying hello, how are you, and blah blah blah, and dancing and everything on the in front of the phone, and that was it. I mean, it was just about as opposite as you can get to the way it was a few months ago, when the girls were put all the phones down and basically weren't even looking at them at all, and were trying to get the few customers who were walking past, were trying to get in the bar. Now they don't care about customers walking past, not at all. They completely ignore you, and they're completely glued to the live stream. I mean, it's worse than it has been for the last few years. And when you walk down the street and the girls are all head down on the phone, it's worse than that, because they're actively talking to people and interacting with them, and the guys are buying drinks and stuff like that. So basically, it's an absolute waste of time going to Soy 6 now, to be honest with you. I don't know. And as I said, the guy with me was a young, good-looking lad, and he was totally ignored. We walked right down and we walked right back again. So that is what's happening at the moment. There's been a couple of other good videos on this subject very recently, and they're all true. But there's been a development which could screw the entire thing up, which in my opinion would be a good thing. I mean, it's okay at the moment because there's no customers, but when things go back to normal, if this continues, which it could do, then what on earth will happen when lots of customers are coming and they're completely ignored? What's going to happen then? It's funny in life, isn't it, how sometimes 2 completely unrelated things can dramatically affect each other. in a way that was never ever thought about. And that's what appears to be happening now. Let me explain about in Thailand about the alcohol laws, because they have quite a problem with alcoholism in Thailand. And what they do is they, if say a 7-Eleven or a Family Mart or something is within a certain distance of a school, they're not allowed to sell alcohol. Okay? And then also any retail place in Thailand is not allowed to sell alcohol between certain hours. I think it's they can't sell it in the morning until about after 11 o'clock, and then they can sell it for a few hours until about 3, and then 3 till 5 they can't sell it. So that basically the times when the children are going and coming from school are the times when they can't sell alcohol. So that's the way the law has been. Anyway, obviously with the rise of the internet, they've started with, years ago, but they've been doing online sales of alcohol. Now, what they've done in Thailand, because of the fact that they have such a problem with alcoholism, they've decided to totally ban the sale of alcohol in the whole of Thailand on the internet. It is now from the 7th, which is 4 days ago, or 3 days ago, of this month, all alcoholic sales on the internet are banned. Right? That's the law. It just was passed on the 7th, or it came into action on the 7th. Now then, what's happened is that, and this is how quick they were, the boys in brown were down at Made in Thailand bars on the 8th, and they went into the bars where they were doing live streaming, and they stopped them. They said, "You're selling alcohol online. Cannot, it's against the law," from the 7th. But this was just in a few of the bars at the top end of the street, not in the main complex. It was like a tryout, almost, if that's what you can call it. Now then, it's now the 10th, and I've just walked down that soi in front of you, and the whole thing is up and running and going. So obviously they haven't had a visit yet, but the chances are that they will. And that's going to be very interesting to see what happens, because they're going to have to either stop it, or maybe they'll say, "Oh, it's only Coca-Cola or water," which it actually is. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's an interesting development, and we should know the answer in the not too distant future. We'll see what happens, but it's looking like if they've started with the Made in Thailand bars, then it's looking like they may continue and go to those bars right opposite across the road there. So we'll wait and see what happens. Interesting things. You wouldn't think two completely unrelated things would affect each other so much, as I said before. Anyway, please subscribe and like and share and ring the bell, and I appreciate you watching and listening, and thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.